if that's a thing or not. But
I like it.
I can't believe it's already been 12 years since they went to the Sweet 16. It feels like just a couple years ago. So,
Horned Frogs control the tap. That's Ernest Uday's specialty. By the way, our three officials, Brooks Wells, Tommy Johnson, and Chris Pashy, here for this one. Frankie Collins gets the start at point. Here's Reynolds. Really 2 point guards on the floor for the Frogs with Reynolds and Collins out there. This one knocked out of bounds by the Eagles. Will stay with the Horned Frogs here.
Florida Gulf Coast starting out here in a little man-to-man action for the Frogs. Frogs will likely see a little bit of zone tonight too, I think, from Florida Gulf Coast.
Wenzel catch shoot to start. Rebound taken out of there. That's Dalian Johnson. Clears it up to his point guard, Ramir Barno. Barno going baseline. Jumper from Johnson's off the mark. One and done for both teams to start.
Yeah, not shy to shoot threes for Florida Gulf Coast. They shot 30 attempts from 3 in the last game as well.
Trey White, here's your TCU starting 5. White was quiet in that first game. Uday had his second career double-double. And we mentioned those 2 guards on the floor together, Collins and Reynolds. Here's Frankie for 3, right on time.
Yeah, Reynolds just does a really nice job coming off that high screen there from Uday. He's just so patient with the ball. He's looking for his teammates at all times and he's really patient to let that develop for Collins to hit a wide open 3.
Out between it, works Barno. Johnson. First touch here for Keyshawn Kelman. It's their best player, by the way. They try to get it back to him. Frogs cover him up nicely. Down the middle of the lane, the running one-hander for Munoz. We'll send him to the free throw line after contact.
That's a nice drive after having a really tough catch on the perimeter here. Caught it on the shoelaces and was able to get it on the deck and get to the basket and earn a trip to the free throw line here.
Noah Reynolds whistled for the foul, his first team foul. Number 1 on the Frogs. Free throw, Munoz. Junior out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. You're going to notice that, by the way, as we tell you where these guys are from. There's a lot of Pennsylvania Northeast corridor, essentially, players on this roster, thanks to Pat Chambers' background. He's a Philadelphia guy. Coached, as we mentioned, at Penn State, longtime assistant to Jay Wright at Villanova.
Coaches do tend to do a good job of having good contacts in local programs.
Frogs get turned over here by the full court pressure by the Eagles. Three-pointer off the mark for Johnson.
Nice job working back for Wenzel there to get that rebound and save it to Uday.
I thought on the last possession, correct me if I'm wrong, Colin, Uday got the rebound. Got to push it a little quicker. You allowed that full court pressure to establish itself.
I agree, you know, especially off a miss. You don't want to, but that's a new look. That probably caught him by surprise because it was on a miss. A lot of teams aren't able to set up their press that way.
Barno whistled for the foul, his first, team's first as well.
Florida Gulf Coast obviously going to try to be opportunistic and taking it in setting up that press.
Yeah, White slips down, able to recover here on the inbounds. Yeah, Pat Chambers' teams will play hard, folks, defensively as baseline jumper goes here for Trey White. That's a good sign. Only had 2 points in the first meeting.
Yeah, it's riddled with a little foul trouble in that first meeting to start the season. Only had 2 points, so good to see him try to get an early rhythm going.
Frogs try to push the tempo here with Collins tripped from behind. They're going to rule this as a second foul on Barno. Here's Trace. Fadeaway jumper. Hard to defend that, isn't it?
It's hard to defend it, but it's also hard to make that shot. Going over your right shoulder like that, fading away. Tough shot.
Foul on Barno, his second, so he'll have to check out of the lineup. Inbounds looking for Robinson.
Barno played 35 minutes in their first game, too, so that's a big loss. They depend on him for heavy minutes here.
Jack Reddick into the lineup now. He's a freshman out of Eddyville, Kentucky. He's matched up on Reynolds, who takes a round. Nice feed for Uday for the jam.
Yeah, Uday was looking for that the whole way. Reynolds knew he was coming with it. He's come back down. Nice finish, big fella.
Reddick brings it up. Reddick's put up a lot of numbers in high school in Kentucky, which is a good thing. They play great high school basketball there. Turnover here, though. Trey White in traffic. Nice look. Uday finds Trey White for the deuce.
Yeah, it's an odd place for that double team to come from, and Coach Chambers is going to get a quick timeout here. Nobody rotated back, and it was an easy walk into the paint with his arms as open as big as they can be for Trey White for the easy layup.
How about the advantage of having a guy like Ernest Uday who can pass it like this? The big man here finishes on the offensive end and then gets the assist on the next possession.
Yeah, a double team came from backside, and you can see Kelman just late rotating back down, got to protect that basket, but Trey White, very heads-up play. As soon as his man ran to go double team, just flash to the basket, good chance he'll be open, and if somebody covers you, then the other guy's going to be open.
Ernest Uday is a skilled player. He had the double-double the other night. Last year was not the kind of year he expected, nor did TCU. And I really think, Colin, with the work that he put into the offseason, that this is going to be a breakout year for Ernest Uday.
I think you're right. And being the only real contributor coming back from last year's team, this is an opportunity for him to make it his team and really be a big leader this year.
Frogs shooting 4 of 5 from the floor to start this ball game. Get it across. Munoz has it. Xavier McLean is in the lineup now for Florida Gulf Coast. That's a nice move to the rim there for Michael Duax.
Yeah, Duax was a nice, used his body really well to shield the defender off to get the ball up on the rim.
Duax is a transfer from Northern Iowa. He's out of Dubuque, played at Hempstead High School there. Corner Reynolds around Duax. Tried to feed it, but it traveled first here. Uday was there waiting on it. Reynolds went a little deep, did he not?
Yeah, it looked like he tried to do a little jump stop there and just dragged the pivot foot a little bit.
Jamie Dixon looking on here. Here's another look at it on the previous play by Duax. Nice strong move. Yeah,
strong move. Creating that contact creates just enough separation to make the layup there.
We saw that in that opener against Florida A&M on a breakaway. Frankie Collins, remember, creates the contact enough, as you said, to bounce off, get the lay-in and the foul.
You know, it surprisingly doesn't take that much to contact to create some space, too.
Here's Duax baseline against Vasean Allette, who's just checked into the lineup. Jumper doesn't go for Munoz, and another rebound for Uday.
That's a second tipped rebound from Wenzel there.
Allette off the bench, too strong. Offensive board for Uday. Wenzel for 3. He's 1 of 2 from behind the arc to start this game.
Yeah, I love it. Looked down, made sure his toes were behind the line because he was backing up as he was catching that ball. Made sure he's behind that 3 so he didn't have to take a dribble back and was able to knock it down.
Once again, a good pass from Ernest Uday, too.
And once again, a great start for TCU. Yep. Ball pressure for TCU's been good in the half court, and they're knocking down shots to jump out to another big lead like they did on Monday night.
Duax working in the lane on Allette. Tapped around and in. It's the first points of the game for Keyshawn Kelman. He had 15 in the opener against UNC Greensboro.
Yeah, Kelman's a specimen. He's a big guy down there. He could be a problem tonight.
Allette on the perimeter is fouled. Yeah, you were looking at Keyshawn Kelman saying, where's Sonny Dykes? Come check him out at defensive end, right?
That's right.
Good looking player. Timeout on the floor. 15-16. Frogs up 7. Good start for the Horned Frogs, up 7 here on Florida Gulf Coast. Game number 2 for both of these teams. TCU leading at 12-5. There on the bench you see Keyshawn Kellman. He's a grad transfer from Princeton. And he's used to the kind of attention that he's gotten already in the Atlantic Sun. This is a guy who was, remember, the All-Ivy League team at Princeton. Here comes in, he's the preseason all-conference team unanimous selection. Picked to be the defensive player of the year. You were talking about the fact he looks the part, doesn't he?
No question about it. Last year's 12 points, 7 rebounds a game. Second in all of the NCAA in field goal percentage at 68.4%. That is, very, very efficient. And odds are he's making most of those pretty close to the basket. So, he's getting good position down low.
Yeah, and then for the Horned Frogs here tonight, we keep an eye on this guy, Vasean Allette. Had a big game of the opener, 20 points, a 6-man for TCU. The transfer, obviously, who's come in and made impact already. Dishes to Posey, gets it right back out. He'll operate as a point guard, will Vasean, the transfer from Old Dominion. Collins. Posey with 5 on the shot clock. Nice stop in the lane to follow it, though. Third time's a charm.
Yeah, hard work there from Posey. Nice drive. Just got a little strong on the initial shot. Hit back iron, was able to stay with it. 2 more attempts, able to put it home.
Munoz. Rory Stewart's into the lineup for the first time. He's a 6'8 junior out of London. Baseline. A little reverse layup goes for Munoz here. Florida Gulf Coast on the board. 14-7. Frogs still doubling him up.
Yeah, he had a practice shot with the right hand little spin shot on the first drive that he had earlier in the game. That one was able to knock it home.
Collins looked for punch. Instead, it's Wenzel. Leans in. There's creating some space. Jumper doesn't go. And McLean with a rebound.
Yeah, tough shot to take there. Didn't get what he wanted on the initial catch, and then got bumped on the drive and no call, so he ends up in a very difficult shot.
McLean with the 3. Tapped around a couple of times. I think Florida Gulf Coast was the last to hit it. They were. It'll be TCU's basketball. I think it's a good call. By the way, that jumper from Xavier McLean, he's another Ivy League transfer. Here's Munoz finishing on that reverse layup, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's like a little horse shot flying through the lane there and spinning it with the opposite hand off the glass. Very nice.
Munoz, the Delaware State transfer. Reynolds. Allette loses his defender and able to step in the middle of the lane and easily lay it up. Johnson was trying to hang with him, and he just lost him.
Yeah, when he lost him, I think initially Vasean was going to actually pull up for a jumper from about 15 feet, and he was like, oh, wow, okay, I get the seize part. He went all the way to the rim, just laid it in nice and easy.
Johnson on the offensive end, now Munoz. There's McLean, the Columbia transfer. Another Ivy Leaguer, and a 3-pointer on top here for Rory Stewart.
That's good ball movement by Florida Gulf Coast there. Ends up with a wide open shot up top, punch just a hair late closing out.
Stewart started his career at Rhode Island, by the way. Punch, the freshman, turn around to the lane, got it, and a foul. Oh, they're going to wave it off? Let's see.
Calling it before the shot.
Yeah. It's going to be on McLean. Here's another look. When does this contact occur? Right there, I guess, before the shot? Okay.
Yeah, he hadn't quite gathered to go up. You know, I think 20 years ago, that's actually probably a charge.
Yeah, probably was.
He had two steps, turn into the defender. Of course, nowadays it's very, very difficult to take a charge.
The other thing is, if Punch is a 4-year player, he probably lets go of that basketball knowing he's got contact.
Oh, no question.
You know,
that's one of those things. That's a younger thing that you learn as you get older. That's correct.
Posey, now Allette. Allette took it through 4 defenders that time to get to the rim and no call.
There's an incredible in and out dribble to create the space to get through him to begin with. But I don't know how in the world he didn't end up with a free throw line there. He got raked across the arm.
Kellerman is back into the lineup, as is for the first time Darren Williams for Florida Gulf Coast. This is Reddick. Deep three. This one finally goes for Johnson. Johnson able to knock that one in. He started this ball game 0 for 3.
Yeah, not scared to shoot it, though.
Allette again baseline. This time is fouled.
3 of 11 from 3 in the last game was Johnson.
Yep. Jake Reddick, the guilty party here. Well, the foul. Here's the jumper, though, on the last possession. We were talking about Dalian Johnson, a guy that they want to shoot the basketball. Gatorade Player of the Year coming out of Massachusetts. Transfer from Penn State. Isaiah Manning on the floor for the Frogs for the first time. Punch. Manning in the corner. Allette with the offensive rebound, wisely resets.
I really like that he pulled that down and didn't just go straight back up with it.
Manning again.
Frogs have gone cold here.
Johnson keeps firing. Rebound now Kelman. Yeah, down to a 13-point ball game. It's Florida Gulf Coast in a little 6-0 run right now. Time out of the floor after this one. Horned Frogs by 3. Jamie Dixon. A little talking to right now.
Lock in, TCU fans. It's time for Horned Frog Hoops. The fastest team of the country is back in action. Jamie Dixon of the Frogs are looking to run their way to a 4th straight NCAA tournament. You won't want to miss a second of the high-flying Frogs this season. Get your season tickets today at GoFrogs.com, and we'll see you soon at the Showmont.
Frog fans, your TCU volleyball team is lighting up Schollmeyer Arena, and you don't want to miss any of the action. Single game tickets are still on sale, so head on over to GoFrogs.com and purchase your tickets today. Make sure you come on out and cheer on your Horned Frogs as they make their mark on Funky Town.
Attention TCU fans, get ready for an electrifying season of women's basketball. The 2024-25 season is here, and the Horned Frogs are ready to put on a show. Join us as our star-studded roster featuring Haley Van Lith, Sedona Prince, and Madison Connor take the court. This season, we're facing off against powerhouses like NC State, Baylor, and West Virginia that are sure to bring intensity. Be part of the excitement and secure your tickets today at GoFrogs.com. It is showtime.
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time to lead on.
Everything you thought you knew is brand new. We on a new wave. This ain't what it was. See, when the game changes, so do we. Every day, every play. Always been greater than 12. Now standing 16 strong. In every end zone. Any time zone. When everyone else keeps asking, what's next? We know. We are.
If you've been watching us with TCU basketball in the last several years, you've heard us talk about the art of scheduling, and Jamie Dixon, I think, does a really good job of that. He wants to show his team a lot of different looks, wants to see teams from around the country playing different styles of basketball, and he knew coming in that Pat Chambers' group from Florida Gulf Coast were going to challenge them here because they play tenacious defense, and they've done it early on.
Yeah, they play tenacious defense, but also they're not scared to get up and down the floor and shoot a bunch of threes, which you're going to see a lot of in the Big 12 as well. So you got to be able to get out and defend the perimeter.
Kelman scores here. Well, a nice dish from Parno. It's a one-point ball game all of a sudden. 8-0 run right now.
I almost feel like the Frogs kind of started off so hot they kind of felt like they might have started having a game like they had in the first game against Florida A&M, and kind of got a little complacent here.
A lazy pass there. Reynolds back on the floor for the Horned Frogs. Allette. Manning. Reynolds for three. Smooth stroke.
That was great. It was a really quick release, too. Catch and shoot. Manning, I think, would have taken that shot if he had knocked down one of the first two attempts that he had, but since he missed it, he kind of passed it up for a better shot for Reynolds, which is a good, right decision.
Johnson misses again. Frogs on the run. Allette keeps.
You got to like, he's always kind of slowly probing and looking for opportunities to get to the basket and drive and get all the way to the rim and score. You're going to see a lot of that this year from Vasean Allette, and you see a nice job of finishing there with the right hand.
I hate to make the football analogy, but he's kind of like that running back, sets up his offensive lineman, right? Sets up the block.
Yes, absolutely. But that's great. Instead of just putting your head down and being a straight line runner hard as you can through it.
Kelman from the elbow short. That's not his game.
Yeah, you can tell that 69% from the floor came all at the rim.
Yeah. Not his game. Here's Manning out front. Uday backing it in. They come after him, and he turns it over. Back the other way. Frogs get a piece of it. They're going to count it. Trey White went up high to get it. Caught it on the way down.
That's pretty good timing from Trey White, even to get up there and get it just a hair late. If you look at the replay here, I never made a block like that in my life,
right,
Ryan.
exactly.
I'm just letting you know.
Right. I did with a ladder once. Here's Reynolds. Double team comes again. We talked about this defense, Colin. Florida Gulf Coast will play some D on you. They'll come after you.
Yep, and that was a good trap, too. Frogs lucky to retain possession here.
Allette, and an offensive foul. I got to get this one.
Ernest knows he left early on that.
Yep.
He sets 20 screens a game and right at that same part on the floor.
And slid over there.
It's really difficult. If you know you're not going to clip the guy, you want to slide over and clip him, but that's not on you as the screen setter. It's on the guard to set the guy up to run him into you.
4-point ball game right now. Riddick with it, gives it up. Another three for Johnson that doesn't go. He'll keep firing, though. Don't worry about that. Trey White. Frogs just not as crisp offensively, and it's because of this defense. Am I right? As he's bumped here out of bounds.
They're being real aggressive, and Trey White's kind of smiling like this guy's just being too aggressive, but I'm going to burn right by him here in a second, which he would have done right there if he hadn't lost control of that dribble.
Yep.
He knows that he's being just a little too aggressive on him right now. Is Riddick.
Riddick checks out of this lineup. Freshman, as we mentioned, Eddyville, Kentucky, played at Lyon County, where he had 1,781 points in his career. 15 on the shot clock for the Frogs. Uday out front. Trey forces that one, 2 on the shot clock. Lucky to get rimmed.
Yeah, that was a tough position because he should have tried to find a way to get the ball to Uday.
Kelman on the other end. This is his specialty right there.
Yeah, no question. A little ball fake there and just go right around for a jam.
2-point game. Collins back out there. Wenzel for 3. Catch and shoot quickly.
That was a little quick trigger as well. Frogs usually, especially in the first game, very patient on offense and kept working to get open shots. That's why they made 14 threes in that first game. A little more of a quick trigger in this game for some of the guys.
2-point ball game now. Opportunity to take the lead here. Munoz. Duex. Nice lead. Kelman finishes. Ties it up. Jamie Dixon said that's enough. We'll take the timeout here. Timeout of the floor, 7:47 left. We got a ball game, folks. Tied at 21 tonight here in Fort Worth. Tied at 21 right now here as we work at the halfway mark, just behind it, just below it, I should say, of the first half at 7:47 to go under the 8-minute timeout. And the Horned Frogs struggling with this defense. You know, guys that had an impact in that first game, Vasean Allette, Frankie Collins, Brandon Woods, all these new faces, Noah Reynolds, Trey White, they're getting a little dose of what Big 12 basketball is going to be like with the defense the Florida Gulf Coast is putting on them.
Yeah, this is night and day as far as the pressure comes from the defense from Florida Gulf Coast versus Florida A&M on Monday night. This is a drastically different animal that they're having to deal with right now. And, you know, they're going to have to, you know, figure it out really pretty quickly here.
Yeah, they're not going away, that's for sure. Look at a trap in a half court. Here's Reynolds. Gives it up to Collins. Again, the Frogs extended here offensively. Look down low to punch. Couldn't handle the pass.
Yeah, he got smacked in the back of the head from behind. Tough to catch a ball when you're getting hit from behind like that. This is an opportunity for the Frogs, though, with Kelman on the bench here.
Yep. Nuax, corner now. Standing on the sideline there, though, was Rory Stewart, and he gives it back to TCU.
Yeah, just the second turnover tonight.
Yeah. Horned Frogs, on the other hand, been having a little bit of trouble taking care of the basketball. We've talked about that thanks to this pressure. 5 turnovers already. That's more than we saw in the complete game against Florida A&M. Collins wins it. Rebound taken out of there by Duex.
He's going to make that shot more times than he misses it when he's wide open like that. It's a good ball move from the Frogs. They'll take that shot all day.
Munoz trying to back it in. Johnson in traffic off the glass. That's Collins. Frankie had it knocked away. Another look at this. Collins.
He was probing and probing. I think the pass back there probably could have gone back to Micah Robinson.
Allette. Robinson threw it away. Thought Collins was going to be a little deeper. When Robinson left that area, Collins started to slide up along the arc, right?
Yeah, it's a really tough pass also. You're driving hard left to spin back left to hit a guy in the corner. Kind of a blind pass, obviously, and still got to locate who you're going to throw the ball to.
Munoz. Darren Williams, freshman out of Philly. Forced that one in traffic. It's knocked away by Allette.
He was shocked that that ball came right to him. Surprised him it came right to him.
Stays for the Eagles. Here's another look at it. Couldn't quite hang on.
One-handed pass is tough to pull back there.
Tied at 21 at Uday back into the lineup now for punch. Ernest Uday with a couple of points. 3 boards and 2 assists here to start. He's in when Kelman's back out there. 3-pointer this time for Munoz, who continues to play well for the Eagles.
That's a set play out of bounds. Just throw it in and get right back to the inbounder. If you're open, let it fly even from 25 feet.
6 early points for him. Robinson flips it up. Micah can't get it to go. And a foul here. There was a fight for that rebound.
Yeah,
I think Ernest had established position, right?
He had, and Ernest is tough on the offensive glass. He goes hard to the offensive glass, and obviously his size makes him a very difficult box out. It's a tough drive here.
I think they thought that Kelman was on top of Uday there as he was trying to work his way up the ladder.
Yep.
To the free throw line goes Ernest Uday, where he's worked, as we talked about this in the last game. He's worked hard on his free throw in the offseason.
All right, it's a good-looking stroke.
It is.
You know, we talk about that about players a lot, right?
Yep.
It's like, oh, this guy worked really hard on this aspect of his game or that aspect of his game. And 3 games into the season, they could revert back to their old self a lot of times. I don't think Uday is going to do that this time. He's really looked Like the rotation's really good. The arc on the shot's really good. He's going to shoot a much better percentage this year.
Yeah, putting a lot more air under it, as you talked about.
An opportunity to trap right there, just over the timeline.
With Jamie Dixon as the third defender.
That's right.
Right there, Kelman. Throw away here by Munoz. Break for the Horned Frogs. Posey going to get back into the lineup now for the Frogs. Hey, 5:30 to play here. 2-point lead for Florida Gulf Coast. Trying to get it to Uday. That was a force feed there by the Horned Frogs and another turnover. That's a self-inflicted wound. You didn't have to do that, Colin.
No, you didn't have to do it, but you're trying to make a, get the team kind of fired up again, right? But that lob pass, it can't be a big rainbow pass like that. It's got to be more of a direct pass. It's got to get there with some velocity so so Uday can finish with it and time it a lot easier. As you saw, he jumped and he was kind of hanging, suspended in air, waiting for that ball to get to him. And he was almost back on his heels again before he landed.
Munoz, nice dish. Drew the defense to him. They slough off of Keyshawn Kelman, who was able to dunk it home.
Kelman's got 5 dunks now in the first half. I mean, that's how you are at top of the nation in field goal percentage. You just dunk everything.
The lead at 4. It's the largest. Remember, the Horned Frogs led this one by 9 at one point, 16-7. Posey, head down and find some room.
Boy, he just kind of put his head down. You're right, and just pulled his way straight to the basket. He's able to make the shot on the baseline there. No room on the baseline drive, Brian. Let's just go create our own space.
Exactly. Huh? Munoz. Duax. Northern Iowa transfer. Good shooter, scores that one.
4 made threes now for the Eagles.
Michael Duax gives them their largest lead at 5 now. Allette thought about answering. Here's a floater from the elbow. It's knocked away. They're going to whistle a foul here on McLean. All right, the under 4-minute timeout right now sees the Horned Frogs down by 5. 3:53 to go to Pat Chambers' team.
And he's looking at
5-point lead right now, thanks to this big fella from Florida Gulf Coast, Keyshawn Kelman. He's got 10 points, and they're all right around the rim, Colin.
Yeah, not just right around the rim, but in the rim and on top of people's heads. He is putting everything in the basket with 2 hands. And he is he just creates opportunities. He creates space, and he's such a big guy and a big target. He's got good hands. He's catching really tight passes from his teammates. And he's a really, obviously, a big-time finisher around the basket.
Tell you what, first 6 minutes of this game, he was quiet, too. I mean, his 10 points have come in a cluster here.
Well, even the one shot that he took, a little 12-foot jumper that I think he barely caught the front of the iron on. You know, he commented, it's like, that's not really his game. It's like, no, it's not. And, well, he said, okay, yeah, I'm going to get back to what I do. And he got back to it in a big way, and that has completely flipped this game to a 5-point lead here for the Eagles.
Allette at the free throw line now. Vasean. Transfer from Old Dominion. 8 games of 20-plus points at ODU for the Monarchs. Had the 20-pointer, of course, and the opener for the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, he did really well in that game, too. 9 of 13 from the floor, 2 out of 3 from 3. Didn't really try to force anything, too. Everything kind of just came to him.
6 tonight here in the first half. Duax fouled by Posey.
That's always tough when you're a step over helping, and then the ball swings to your guy, and you step out to potentially close out, especially as they hit a 2 possessions ago against you. And he puts it on the deck right when you got your feet turned the wrong way.
Yeah, good offensive players see where you're leaning, take advantage of a Duax here, spinning in the lane with the left hand, had a block.
Yeah, that was a nice move. You're going to get to the rim in the A-Sun a lot of times with that.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody's got an Ernest Uday sitting at the back of the defense there.
I was going to say 95% of that looked really good. Miss here, back the other way come the Eagles. Barno pushes. Ramir out of Philadelphia sends it in the corner. Munoz can't nail that one.
Yeah, Barto's been sitting most of the first half here with foul trouble, so he's their guy. Played 35 minutes that first game, like we mentioned.
Allette with a step back 3. Collins. Posey. The Eagles out hustle him to the ball.
I didn't see who it was. Posey was about to dunk that ball, and it was a nice defensive play. I don't know if it was Kelman or who it was. Just got a hand on there and knocked it out right as he was about to tip jam it. Really nice defensive play.
Barno baseline. Duax. Extra pass. Duax tried to save it. Couldn't quite do it. Not a lot of space in that corner here at Schollmeyer Arena.
Yeah, with the brand new front row seats over there in the corner.
Right. Duax telling him, hey, it's a little slippery over there. I think we lost a drink. We did. We got a cocktail on the floor.
We got new season ticket holders sitting over there in the front row.
Yeah.
not ready for the players to be crashing into them, I guess.
Right.
At least they didn't spill any popcorn over
That's
there.
right. Although the cocktail's more valuable, right? They continue to work it here. Staff doing an excellent job, as always. Here's another look. Watch and see if we can see the cocktail go flying. And let's see. Boom, right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, they had it hidden over there behind the chair. It looks like too. They were prepared.
They had it in the cup holder. Yep. Still working on it. And it all depends on what the cocktail was as to how sticky it is.
True. How much sugar's in it?
Right. Exactly.
We got a little tonic in it, maybe?
Yeah, if it's tonic or club soda, we're okay. But if we went, soda, we're going to be there a while. All right, back in action now. 2:04 to go.
2 minutes left in the first half. They can reload at halftime here.
That's true, yeah. Here's White. In fact, I bet they get a freebie in the club.
There you go.
Here's Collins, left-hand side. Another miss for the Horned Frogs. TCU's cold here in this ball game, just 27% from behind the arc, 39% for the floor overall.
That feels like more like a Big 12 stat line.
It does. But we talked about that coming out of the break earlier. You know, this feels like Big 12 defense from Florida Gulf Coast.
They're getting under them for sure.
Yeah.
Not a lot of easy looks for TCU tonight.
Barno, shot clock at 3. Johnson 2. Johnson at 1 for the turnaround. Uday able to tap it to Collins.
Good defense possession there from TCU.
Foul out front here. This one's going to be on Darren Williams.
It's a nice job by Collins there and actually initiating that contact, earning a trip to the free throw line. Get some easy points here for the Frogs.
Collins to the line. Personal foul there. Whistled, as we mentioned, on Darren Williams, his first. Frankie, the Arizona State transfer. Michael Duax back in the lineup now. Collins at the line. I love how Frankie handles himself, how he carries himself, the leadership that he brings to this team. Knocks in that first free throw. You can tell he's been around.
Yeah, there's no question. He's played in the big-time conference, too, over in the Pac-12. So, NCAA tournament games.
Yep.
A lot of leadership coming from Collins.
Collins made them both.
And Frankie Frogs needed it, too, coming back from a team that's gone to the tournament 3 times in a row for the Frogs and losing almost everybody off that team. Not a lot of tournament experience coming back.
Frankie spent 2 years at Arizona State, started his career at Michigan. Got a Sacramento as Frankie Collins. Defending here. Duax for 3. Well, he had a great look. That one went all the way down and came out.
Yeah, Frogs dodged a bullet there.
1 point lead, 48 seconds to go. Wenzel. Collins. Leaves it Reynolds. Oh, Reynolds is good.
It's a great drive, too. And Collins wanted to lob that to Uday, but he saw the defense close down and rotate down at the last second. Somehow kicks it out to Reynolds, who's just, you're right, he's just smooth.
Roger.
All the way to the basket there.
TCU retakes the lead. Out of bounds here, falling out of bounds was Barno, trying to save that errant pass.
Yeah, so after all that, now Frogs with a 1 point lead and possession here to take the last shot of the first half. Shouldn't take this shot with more than 5 seconds left on the clock here. Give yourself a chance for 1 rebound and a putback if you need to.
Gulf Coast applies a little pressure on him. Collins gets it across. Frankie will hold.
I don't think we've seen this play with Reynolds setting the screen up high.
He can step back, too. Here's Collins to the rim. We get a foul or we get a travel? Ooh! Chris Pashy says a travel, so with 3.6 to go.
We're going to count them for you here. Ready? 1, 2. That looks like 2 to me.
Yeah. That 2 didn't drag, did it?
I don't think so. I mean, it's like it looks funky because all these the players nowadays, a lot of them do those Euro steps, right?
Yeah,
where they have such body control that they can kind of change directions. As opposed to when I play, we were just like hard score 1, 2, you're going that way.
Yeah, exactly.
No change in direction.
All right, 3.6 to go. Gulf Coast with it. Duax from half court. It'll be short. And it'll be a 1 point TCU lead at the half here. Jamie Dixon coaching on the way to the locker room. That'd be okay, wouldn't it? Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
By the way, this team plays a lot like Pat Chambers. He was a point guard at Philadelphia in college, and he was a guy that was a walk-on. It was kind of an afterthought who ended up being a team captain and leader on the team with a scholarship. Pushing left-hand side now. Frankie Collins with it on the first touch offensively for TCU. Collins baseline score.
That was a nice offensive play there for Collins, being a little patient, creating some space for himself.
Here's what I want you to give me, Colin, here in the next couple of minutes is adjustments you've seen, really from both teams, but especially TCU. Let's see how they attack things differently here in the second half.
I want to see how they handle the pressure, the ball pressure from the Eagles here in the second half, because you know that Coach Chambers is firing them up in the halftime locker room, saying this is what worked. It got us the lead. We got to keep doing these things to have a chance to be here at the end to win the game.
Kelman shows you a little extra dimension there on the jump hook.
Yeah, that's a tough shot.
Kind of a sweeping hook, essentially.
Yeah, not a shot you see a lot of guys take anymore these days.
1-point ball game again.
A lot of standing on offense right now for the Frogs.
Reynolds. Wenzel. That was a shot they wanted. Kelman with another rebound.
Yeah, you'll take that because it's an inside-out pass to a dead-eye shooter.
I will give Florida Gulf Coast credit. They have dictated the tempo in this ballgame. You mentioned the fact that TCU had just 2 fast break points in that first half. We know how much Jamie Dixon's team wants to run as they turn it over here with Barno losing it out of bounds. But Florida Gulf Coast has really dictated the tempo, Colin.
Yeah, they sure have. And I think part of that is even on missed shots down here, they've been able to set up their press a couple times and really wreak havoc on TCU a little bit here. But I think that defensively for TCU, they've got to become more aggressive.
Yeah.
We talked about that on the first night. They really got after Florida A&M on the defensive end, and tonight you just don't see that same intensity.
Fadeaway this time goes for Wenzel.
Appear to be trying to get him going. Enough nice tough shot there on the turnaround fadeaway.
Barno in traffic again. Another turnover for the point guard. Ramir Barno, he somehow gets it back. Kelman had that one blocked by Uday.
Yeah, Uday did a great job of holding his ground there, taking the bump, and then still having enough energy in his coiled spring legs to jump up and get the block as Trey White takes a hard drive and a really difficult odd angle finish there up from under the basket.
See if they can get Trey White going. He didn't play but 10 minutes in that first half. And a timeout taken here by Pat Chambers early on in this second half as the Horned Frogs out to a 5-point advantage. 36-31. They lead it right now here early in the second. Five-point lead for TCU. Good start to the second half of the Horned Frogs. They lead it here over Florida Gulf Coast. The Eagles out of the Atlantic Sunday. You see Pat Chambers checking the play sheet here. The second meeting all time between these two teams. First one was a 1-point victory here at Schollmeyer Arena. It was the last home opener as a member of the Mountain West Conference for the Horned Frogs when J.R. Cadett went for 16 and 7. That game-winning layup from Hank Thorns, the transfer from Virginia Tech. Jim Christian's team pulled out the 1-point victory, 73-72. By the way, best of luck to Jim Christian, former head coach here, now the head coach of Canisius. Back in the college game.
Still doing his thing.
Yes, he is where he needs to be. Jamie Dixon looking on here. Pouring in the young men is Jim Christian. Frogs cranking up that defensive pressure like you wanted, Colin. Another turnover here by Barnum.
Yep, there you go. You get a turnover right away.
Reynolds in traffic. Unable to finish. But it's amazing how, again, though, that defense turned into offense, just couldn't convert.
Yep. I couldn't see Coach Dixon literally just set up shop right in front of me there, so I didn't see how he missed the shot there, but unable to convert. But still, you still like the defensive pressure on the possession before, not as much as this last one, but
that was a good look, by the way, by Kelman. Kelman got that pass from Munoz, and Trey White travels here. Here's another look at that layup. Tell me what you see here, Colin. The previous play for Florida Gulf Coast.
There's a nice behind the back pass there. Just a little late rotation, or over the head, I guess.
Yep. Here's Johnson in traffic. Nice dish again. This time Kelman has a tough time handling it. It's the last touch by Frankie Collins.
Yeah, Frankie Collins saw that play develop, and Kelman just so big, he didn't have an avenue to get around him to kind of really deflect the initial pass. So Kelman didn't quite handle the initial pass that great, and Frankie was able to knock it out.
Duax is going to get into the lineup now for Kelman. Punch will check in. You see what's happening when Chambers takes Kelman out. Jamie Dixon takes Ernest Uday out.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
You know, I think Kelman's being a sixth-year guy, going against a freshman in punch, I think that's just too big of an advantage for Kelman. It's a smart move here from Coach Dixon, I think.
3-point lead for TCU. 5 on the shot clock. Deep three. Long rebound. We got a foul here, and I think this was Punch, who was knotted up this time with Rory Stewart. They're going to get Punch with a foul.
Punch is looking for somebody to box out. That's just a really long, far back iron. Yeah, he probably didn't need to hook him there, but you understand he's thinking he's going to box out, and you don't always expect a rebound to ricochet 18 feet away from the basket like that.
Stewart with pretty good overreaction too, though.
Oh, of course. You got to sell it a little bit.
Yep. This one slapped away. Frogs unable to hang on to it.
All right, good get a hand and a pass on there from Wenzel. He's been a nice little game himself on the boards, too. He's got 6 boards tonight now.
Yep. Timeout on the floor, the under 16-minute timeout right now. Frogs still sport that 3-point lead right now on Florida Gulf Coast.
Lock in, TCU fans. It's time for Horned Frog Hoops. The fastest team in the country is back in action. Jamie Dixon and the Frogs are looking to run their way to a 4th straight NCAA tournament. You won't want to miss a second of the high-flying Frogs this season. Get your season tickets today at GoFrogs.com, and we'll see you soon at the Showmont.
Frog fans, your TCU volleyball team is lighting up Schollmeyer Arena, and you don't want to miss any of the action. Single game tickets are still on sale, so head on over to GoFrogs.com and purchase your tickets today. Make sure you come on out and cheer on your Horned Frogs as they make their mark on Funky Town.
Attention TCU fans, get ready for an electrifying season of women's basketball. The 2024-25 season is here, and the Horned Frogs are ready to put on a show. Join us as our star-studded roster featuring Haley Van Lith, Sedona Prince, and Madison Connor take the court. This season, we're facing off against powerhouses like NC State, Baylor, and West Virginia that are sure to bring intensity. Be part of the excitement and secure your tickets today at GoFrogs.com. It is showtime.
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn, our time, to lead on.
Everything you thought you knew is brand new. We on a new wave. This ain't what it was. See, when the game changes, so do we. Every day, every play. Always been greater than 12, now standing 16 strong. In every end zone, any time zone. When everyone else keeps asking, what's next? We know we are.
3-point lead right now for TCU. Horned Frog faithful here tonight for college basketball, getting ready for a big weekend of sports. You got the women's soccer team in action for the championship tomorrow in the Big 12.
Hi, how about the season they had? Regular season champs, too.
How about that? EB Eric Bell, the head coach, done a terrific job. Right now, this Frog defense trying to crank it up a little bit here in the second half. Up 3, 36-33. Under 16 to go, and Florida Gulf Coast with the basketball out of the timeout. Munoz. Stewart gives it back. Munoz, back Stewart. He can shoot and does.
That was a tough catch, too. He caught that down by his shins.
I tell you, he and Duax are pretty good. Big guys with size who can step out and knock down the three.
Yep, no doubt about it. Every player that played for them in the last game at least took a three-point shot. So everybody has the range to step out and shoot it. They are knocking them down at a much better clip than they did in that first game.
Yeah, ties it at 36. There's a foul on the way in. We'll put Reynolds at the free throw line.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness right there from Reynolds right there. Get a little overplayed. Like, put the ball on the deck and get to the basket and earn a trip to the free throw line. He does a nice job there, initiating the contact and almost flips it up off the glass there for a three-point play.
Dalian Johnson, the guilty party on the foul. Johnson, one of those who came from Penn State with Coach Chambers. Free throw from Reynolds up and good. Isaiah Manning in for the first time here in the second half as Winslow sits.
Frogs were only 5 out of 6 from the free throw line here in the first half. And now in the second half, 2 for 2.
Lead at 2 again for TCU.
A little full court pressure here from the Frogs. See if they actually come trap it. They did that in the first game.
Munoz just gets it across just in time.
I like doing that. I like switching that defense, even if it's just one possession off of a free throw, out of a timeout.
Just to break rhythm. Right?
Yep, a lot of coaches like doing that. There's a nice steal there from Allette.
Yeah. Stepped on the sideline, though, did Vasean. Back it comes to the Eagles. Officials gather here while we take a look at this quick little replay. I think there's a question about the clock, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, was there possession? Should have changed.
Well,
if he stepped out of bounds before he gathered possession, the shot clock should not have reset, right? Because he effectively wouldn't have had possession yet.
Yeah, they're going to reset it back to 7. He never had possession.
I think that's right. I think he stepped out of bounds before he had the deflection, and then when he actually gathered it, he was already stepping out of bounds. So the shot clock should not have reset.
You know, as much as people like to talk about officials, there's little subtle things like that those guys notice. They know the time. You know, they have a good feel for it.
Yep.
That was Brooks Wells, who's the crew chief here tonight.
We don't need to fact check him and see if it was actually 7 seconds.
But close enough, right?
Close enough.
Yeah. Frogs able to defend in those 7 seconds, force a turnover now. Here's Allette to the rim. Punch can't finish. Out of bounds. Kelman, last one to touch it.
Well, Allette is just relentless attacking the basket here and gets all the way to the rim. Just doesn't quite make it. Punch actually does a nice job of coming across the lane from the left side there. You see him and get his hands on it, just unable to get it up over the rim. Frogs able to still retain possession, though. When you get Manning a shot coming off here.
Inbounds catch, shoot. Posey from the corner scores that one.
There you go. Posey had a nice first game, knocking down 3 threes for the Frogs, 11 points in that first game.
McLean with it. Xavier gives it up this time to Reddick. This time Stewart unable to knock down the 3, but another opportunity here for the Eagles. Kelman. He's got some moves, Colin.
Yeah, and then we talked about that too as Uday gets off the bench here to come check in, that there's probably going to be a mismatch down there with Punch. As much as we really think David Punch is going to be a really big-time contributor for the Frogs this season, and just don't know that a guy who's got 6 years in the NCAA, that's a tough guard.
Turnover, Horned Frogs. Back it'll come. Here's another move from Kelman.
Yeah, he's just patient. Little shoulder shake and right around for layup.
Maybe a stutter step 2, maybe. McLean. Frogs lead it by 2. Reddick had it knocked away, runs it down to the backcourt. Catch and shoot from the wing. Reddick unable to convert. Stewart over the back.
I think Frogs got away with one right there. Oh, no. They called it on Frankie Collins here. I was saying the Frogs got away with one on letting open a wide open shot because Allette was late recovering to his man there. Collins is just boxing out. He's just standing there.
Yeah, and I think this goes back to that rule now, where they made that emphasis about undercutting guys, sliding underneath them, but that
he was
look
already
like
standing there.
Yeah. Stays with Florida Gulf Coast. Kelman dribbled it out of bounds, but Uday hit it last. 15 on the shot clock. (40-38), 2-point lead. Munoz. McLean working baseline. Nice double by the Frogs. Sealed him off. Collins. Shot clock expired.
And that time Collins was able to rotate over. As soon as Uday went for the double team, Collins was able to get there and find a path to get in between in the passing lane there to cut off Kelman. You see he works his way around there.
That's kind of textbook defense. Here's McLean, though, coming up with a steal, a lazy pass by Manning. Able to score that one.
Yeah, got to take care of the ball. Giving up easy baskets in a close game like this is not conducive to winning. Got to make sure he value possession.
Ties it at 40. Posey standing on that sideline. I believe, and tell me if I'm wrong. All right, I've got nothing to base this on. Did you see that happen here at Schollmeyer more than anywhere in the country? Guys standing on the sideline.
I don't know if there. I think it happens in a lot of places, but you're right. It does feel, maybe because we were watching all these games, that it does tend to happen here a lot more.
Nice dish. Kelman flies through for the dunk.
This is a little bit of a change. Usually after a score lead change like this, after a big dunk, Jamie Dixon would, and a couple of turnovers, that Jamie Dixon would have a timeout for his team, but he's letting these guys play through.
Kelman's got 18, by the way. As an alley-oop, Uday answers.
That was a great pass from Allette. He looked off the defender this way, and then just the difference between that pass and the one Frankie Collins tried to throw earlier in the game, just a little zip on that pass.
Yep.
Uday can go up and just time it much better and slams it home. Great play.
Barno penetrates through it right to Allette, who lost it out of bounds. Allette was bumped by Duax.
Well, I don't know how that's not a foul.
Yeah.
Allette had a clear path to the basket. He's asking Chris Pashy right now.
Here's a look at it.
I guess he's thinking that Duax got his arm in there and swatted it out before the contact, I guess.
12:05 left. Tie ball game. Frankie. Robinson for the corner. Fresh off the bench. Stewart finds a cutter in Munoz. There's a travel. Back it'll go to TCU and bring us to a timeout on the floor. 11:39 left. Folks, this is going to be fun down the stretch here. Dunk City versus Cowtown, tied at 42. There you see Eddie Clark, the former TCU quarterback, having a good time here. He played in the late 70s, early 80s here. Look at him. Cut him off. He knows he's on TV. Former quarterback here for the Horned Frogs, getting ready for tomorrow's football game. TCU set to take on Oklahoma State. Big 12 game tomorrow night, 6 o'clock right here at Amon Carter Stadium for that one. By the way, Eddie Clark from Philadelphia, just like Pat Chambers, the head coach at Florida Gulf Coast, who's got his team tied at 42 here with TCU. There you see Pat Chambers.
That's such a great blue pinstripe suit.
It is. It is. Well, I think if you coach for Jay Wright,
oh, you have to.
It automatically comes with a, with a suit, doesn't it?
It'd be in a blue pinstripe, and a blue pinstripe one at that.
Exactly. Out front with it now is Frankie Collins. Collins works with it, tied at 42. Frankie works left, wraparound pass. Robinson for the corner. Another good look at it. Got to knock those down.
Yeah, nice job. Inside out, you're going to get a lot of good looks that way, driving to the basket. Defense has to collapse. Got to be able to be right. Knock them down, though.
Out front with it now, Stewart. Stewart between the circles, and there's a foul out front, and that's not a foul you want. Ernest Uday 25 feet from the basket.
No, it's not. And he's not in foul trouble or anything, but you don't need to pick up a silly one at this point in the game with 11 minutes to go in a tie ball game.
Under 11 minutes to go. Frogs had him trapped in the corner.
Great rotation from TCU, though.
This one partially blocked. Nice run out. Here's Allette. Leaves it down low. Uday could not quite finish, but a little push on it.
Allette does a really great job of looking off defenders when he's about to make passes. I didn't even think that he was going to drop this one off. He's looking left here, but he knows he's going to Uday the whole time there. I'm really glad that Ernest that they're on a good enough page together this early in the season, being the first year they played together, that he knows to be looking for that pass, because I don't think anybody in the arena thought that was coming.
Tied at 42. Uday's free throw is good. 10:35 to play in this one. Frogs buck up by 1. We keep bragging on the free throw shooting of Ernest Uday, able to knock that one down. Great rotation. And sometimes that's half the battle for big men, right? Just to get enough air under it for one.
Well, sometimes their hands are so big, because they're so big, that if you think about a normal person, like you might be shooting like a palm basketball, like one of the tiny ones.
Yes.
It's hard to actually.
I've tried that.
Yeah. That's why I always thought guys like Shaq or should have been doing the granny shots.
Yes.
Have better success that way.
Yeah, it's kind of like me and Papa shot, right?
Yeah.
Similar, when the ball's not quite as big.
Yep.
To the floor goes Kelvin. Possession arrow should give us this from the TCU, and it will.
Nice job defensively here from the Frogs, picking up another turnover. That's a good part of the game here. You can string a couple of defensive stops together and score on the other end, maybe extend out a little bit of a lead.
They're going to work on the floor a little bit here where that loose ball was.
Frank Collins letting the guy know that, hey, man, come on, I don't need to call you back out here. Get it on the first shot.
Yeah. Collins, the point guard, brings it up. Vasean Allette. Keeps. Too strong. I think he thought he had Uday ready to finish that.
I think he did, but he also think he got hit on the left arm when he went up. But he doesn't. He kind of like makes a gesture like, "Hey, I got hit," but doesn't like. He's not yelling at the ref on the way back down by any means.
No. Johnson in traffic. Foul here. They're going to get this one on Wenzel. That was a case here where it ends up being a good move by Johnson. But look, it feels like he's more worried about trying to get the contact than shooting the jumper. And there was very little, if any, there.
Yeah, boy, that's really tough.
Yeah.
Tough call there.
First one, though, on Wenzel.
See, from our vantage point, though, it looked like there was contact.
It did look like more, yeah.
And then you get the video angle, which was like perfect. You can see the space between the bodies. Just a really, really tough one on Wenzel there.
Player of the year in the state of Massachusetts, Dalian Johnson. This is the second. Went to Penn State, where he was recruited by Chambers, but never played for Pat Chambers.
So here you go. Now the TCU almost didn't get the ball across there on a miss again.
Yep. Again, that's a good move by Chambers, though, defensively to slap that full court pressure on him on that. Here's Trey White.
Yeah, I think you get Trey White, start knocking down that shot, get him going. Remember, he averaged over 19 points a game last year.
Johnson mishandles a pass, regroups. Five on the shot clock. Tapped out by Florida Gulf Coast. It'll be TCU's ball with 8:54 to go.
I think Trey White took a pretty hard shot in the chest there when he went down.
Yeah. And I think that's what Jamie Dixon was trying to draw some attention with the officials on.
Yeah, he was and the rest of the bench was yelling at him to get up. It's kind of hard to sometimes when your breath is knocked out.
Right. Ooh, that was almost over and back by Collins. Collins. Goes baseline, wins it. Knocked out of bounds here, and it's going to be out of bounds off of TCU.
Did that ball hit the baseline?
I thought his foot might have, but yep,
oh, yeah, it did. Okay.
Yeah, you can't spin it back in, can you?
No, you cannot.
It's kind of like a foul ball rolling down third base line, and it's not where it ends up, right?
That's right.
You're going to enjoy that in T-ball. Let it roll.
I hope I'm teaching game theory at T-ball age.
Let it roll. Away from the ball, Kelman's going to be whistled with a foul here. He and Uday have been kind of going at it the last couple of possessions. Kelman trying to create some space, whistled for the personal foul.
Well, you can see he's got him hooked the whole time down there.
Personal foul number 2 on Kelman. Tried to plead his case, and now with 8:12 to go. Frogs with a 3-point lead.
A little zone look here for the first time Gulf Coast.
Manning flashes. Collins with it.
And this is another good move by Coach to kind of change it up a little bit.
Long miss, and Collins is able to run down, and he's bumped by Duex.
These little subtle moves on switching up defenses can really discombobulate teams down the stretch here. Give maybe Florida Gulf Coast an opportunity to get back in this game. Only down 3 here with 7:52 to play. And try to finish at the basket. And the guy to do that is Vasean Allette. He's probably the best finisher on the team.
All right, so tell me, where is his team? Is it more like the 11 threes in the first half against Florida A&M, or is it more like what we've seen now for the last 2.5 halves?
No, I think they can shoot the 3. I really do. I don't think they're going to be a 3 of 15, 20% type team.
Trey White in traffic, bumped.
But I like this. I like the aggressiveness going to the basket. Most of the time, all you got to do is get there, jump stop, pump fake, and the guy leaves his feet, and you're going to have to free the line at the very least, just like he did right there.
Yep. That's Kelman coming over, and that's going to be his 3rd.
Yep, that's a nice move there from Trey White. Trey White leading the team in scoring in this game with 7:43 in the second half to go. He's only got 8 points, and he leads the team.
Yeah, it's been quiet, too, by the way. It's a quiet age.
Had a couple buckets early in the game. I mean, there hasn't been a loud bucket from the entire team outside of the Ernest Uday alley-oop, maybe.
Second free throw good. McLean checks out. His back end comes Ramir Barno at point guard. Four-point TCU lead. Munoz to the rim. Bumped and fouled. Late whistle here and late contact, really.
That's a really late call. I mean, Frankie Collins already had the rebound on the backside.
All right, here's a look.
Watch the finish here after.
Well, Manning, I mean, he lands on top of him. What do you do there, Colin? Yeah, it was after the shot, but.
I mean,
Manning's got to put forth an effort not to make that happen. So you don't put yourself in that situation.
Yes. I don't know.
I know what you're going to say is that 8 times out of 10, that's not called.
Yes, it didn't affect the shot. It hit him after the shot. That's like when I shoot a shot. If you're coming straight at me and I follow through, and you hit my follow through, but I've already released the ball.
Right.
I don't think that's a foul. And if I call that in a pickup game, the other guy's going to try to fight me.
Oh yeah. 3-point lead right now, TCU. Collins in the backcourt.
Got to get it across.
Bounces it up just in time to Manning.
Boy, Manning did a nice job of taking just that one extra step to come back to that ball, because that would have been a turnover.
Good receivers come back right when their guys in trouble. Trey White loses a handle on it. Duax foul.
It's a good foul there from Collins. Got to make him earn it here. Getting to the point of the game where you can't give up anything easy. Everything's going to have to be tough.
Yeah, Collins just raked across the hand there. Frankie's second personal foul sends Michael Duax to the free throw line. Out of Dubuque, played at Hempstead High School. First one's up and good. Transfer from Northern Iowa. He was a member of the Missouri Valley's all-freshman team at Northern Iowa. Lead down to 2. Duax trying to make it a one-point game. And
it really is remarkable with the transfer portal. It doesn't matter what team you play these days, it seems like they are largely roster turnover.
Oh, yes.
On almost every team.
Yeah, we spend as much time talking about where their career began or the stops along the way. We'll reset the shot clock here. Shot clock never started. Jamie Dixon imploring his shot clock operators to get things going. .6:58 to go. Allette from the corner. 3 this time for Wenzel goes.
I like that he doesn't even think about it. He knows he's shooting up. He's a three-point shooter, and he knows it. And Allette, great drive, draw the defense, and kick it out to him. Wide open shot for Wenzel, knocks it down. Frogs desperately needed that one to kind of extend this lead a little bit here.
Second 3 of the game for Brendan Wenzel. Lead up to 4. Steal there for Uday. Allette leaves it earnest to his run of the floor. Hesitation by Robinson, but he scores.
Yeah, Uday, another nice dime from Uday right there. Glad Robinson went up strong with that ball and finished it. Crowd finally getting into this game, but it seems like the first time tonight.
Kelman in trouble. Too many. One too many twists and turns.
Yeah, Nunez is sitting on the three-point line right out there waiting for a pass out. Kelman, of course, has carried this team most of the night with 18 points.
Barno checks out of the lineup. Back out there comes McLean. Better defender for the Eagles is Xavier McLean. Down to 6 minutes left in this game.
You might have heard Coach Jamie Dixon right there saying catch ball with 2 hands. Frogs have done that a lot tonight. Ball comes to them and guys just catch it with 1 hand.
Wenzel, open jumper for Allette. Frogs starting to heat it up on the perimeter.
Yeah, big 3. They needed it too. We talked about it coming out of the break that they had been struggling from 3. Now hit back-to-back 3s. Open up a 9-point lead at the right time of this game here with 5:36 to go.
Pat Chambers takes a timeout with 5:36 as Colin mentioned. Got a lead to 9 right now, 55-46. Here's another look at it. Great job by Wenzel with the extra pass here.
Yeah, and you know, as a shooter, if you're getting a pass from under the basket, it's like shooting practice. Like, guy got a rebounder for you, just kicking out. It's a lot easier to knock down a jump shot from the perimeter if you're stepping into a shot from a pass from under the basket like that.
And keep your eye on something that may change this year. There you see the Frog record here at home, leading by 9 right now. After the Brendan Wenzel three-pointer, Jamie Dixon thought about, for just a brief second, taking a timeout. Years past, that's a Jamie Dixon automatic timeout.
Yep.
You might be seeing a little subtle change this year. He let him play through it. Crowd stayed in it. And
you get a stop, and another 3.
Crowds in it again. And then they're forced to take a timeout.
Correct, 100%. And I love that. You know, I talked about it actually at one point when the Eagles took the lead at 42-40, I think it was.
Yep.
That Jamie didn't take a timeout.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see a subtle change here. Here's a baseline putback that doesn't go for Duax. And 2 good looks at it that time for the Eagles, and the Frogs able to get it. Allette, Uday. Back out Vasean for 3.
Well, he liked it too. Yes. He thought it was down. Back iron.
If you like it, take it, right?
No, 100%.
Munoz for 3 scores.
Eagles not going away here.
Yep, Munoz in double digits.
Wenzel's got to catch the ball and turn and look at the basket. It was a 2-on-1. If he takes a hard dribble, draws the defender, Uday's got an alley-oop there.
Reynolds. Robinson, 3.
All right, so I'll tell you this right now. TCU is going to be a three-point shooting team throughout the entire season. Their MO through the first 2 games here has been drive and kick the shooters.
Yep.
And you get spurts like this where you can hit 3 out of 4 in a row, and if you can extend leads to 9 points like they have right here with 4:40 to go, and they got so many guys that can knock them down.
Yep. Take back what I said about the timeout after the made bucket. Jamie Dixon takes it here with 4:40 to go. It's 58-49 right now.
Just want to keep you on your toes, Brian.
Exactly. 9-point lead. But you're right, there's so many shooters that are confident in their shot.
Oh,
and that's half the battle.
No question about it. I mean, I've sat and watched Isaiah Manning. I'll give you an example of him. I've sat and watched him knock down like 40 in a row. It felt like. I don't think it was quite that many, but it was in practice. What I'm saying is, like,
sure,
it's just automatic. Boom, 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 boom. Now, that hasn't translated to the game yet here, but there will be a game where he comes out and he knocks down 6 or 7 threes in a game. I promise you, during the season.
Eagles with the basketball now after the Jamie Dixon timeout. Allowed him to set up this defense. McLean had it blocked. Wenzel grabs it.
Yeah, Robinson did a nice job of dislodging that as well after the block.
Allette thought about it again. Allette to the rim. And 1.
Good patience. He wanted to take that other 3 because he was feeling good. And the one that he missed right before, he felt good on, but he wisely just kind of recalibrates and drives to the basket. He's under control. He doesn't feel like he gets sped up going to the basket, has good body control, takes the hit there, and has a really easy 3-point play opportunity here.
Vasean, the first Frog in double digits here tonight with 11. Trying to add to that total. Let him in scoring in the opener.
Well,
Frog 6-man.
It's been a long time since the Frogs made it all the way to the 4:17 mark in the second half before somebody hit double digits. But that shows you how balanced TCU is, because everybody is contributing at this point. You got a guy with 8, 7, 7, 7, 9, 6. You got a bunch of guys contributing on the floor for the Frogs.
Thought for a minute there you were doing the old 80s classic 8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9.
Nobody's got 3 on this team.
That's right. Rebound here from McLean, but he loses it out of bounds. Lead at 12 right now.
Yeah, Frogs really locking down on defense right now. The Eagles are one of their last 7 from the floor. Frogs on a 14-3 run over the last 250.
This is somewhat similar to the first outing for Florida Gulf Coast. They find the open man again. Robinson with a dunk.
That's Uday with another assist as well. And he is racking up the stats. He might lead the team in assists tonight. That's up to he's up to 4 now. He does lead the team.
Yep. The first meeting of the year for Florida Gulf Coast against UNC Greensboro, they expended a lot of energy to tie it at 59. But then Greensboro won an 11-0 run to close out the ball game to win 73-64. Here right now, the Frogs starting to run away as that one stops an 8-0 run by TCU. It's 16-5, this run that we're in the middle of right now with TCU up here by 12.
Yeah, you got to be able to finish games, of course. It's early in the season. Teams they use these games to help figure stuff out, like what you're deficient in, what you need to really work on.
Wenzel. Foul. Get this one on Parno. Time out of the floor, 2:58 to play. Horned Frogs starting to pick up the pace. Lead it right now by 12 on Florida Gulf Coast.
In a good 6-8 minutes. I'm trying to remember the last basket he had. It's been a while. They've gone away from him a little bit offensively.
There's Keyshawn coming out of the free throw line goes Brendan Wenzel. Senior out of San Antonio, played at O'Connor High School. short on that one. He knew it right away. He's going to commit a foul. All they're going to say is out of bounds off of TCU. I was worried that he fouled him running in there.
He's going to call a foul on him. He did call a foul on him.
Yeah, they probably should have. Wenzel chasing down his miss. He knew it as soon as he let go of it.
Last thing you want to do is foul and put him on the free throw line here, score without the clock moving.
Yeah, 1-on-1 situation now for Keyshawn Kelman. Decent free throw shooter for a guy who lives around the basket. That one's off the mark, though. Wenzel's able to run that down on the front end of the 1-on-1.
I'd like the Frogs to stay aggressive here. As Gulf Coast, the Eagles are coming out and doing a lot of trapping. Even off miss, they've done this like a third or fourth time they've run a trapping press off of a miss on a free throw line.
Reynolds. Allette. Kelman gets a block.
Allette being a little too selfish, I think, on that play right there. You got Robinson who knocked down a three already, wide open in the corner. One more extra pass, has another wide open opportunity there.
3.4 on the shot clock, so the Frogs don't have much to work with here. Inbounds comes Allette. 2, 1, Wenzel. Uday with a rebound.
Yeah, that's the first thing you should do as a player. Yeah. On every time the ball goes out of bounds, it takes a millisecond to take a peek at the clock.
Everyone in the arena knew it, but Allette. Uday down to 7 on the shot clock. Allette, 5. Step through, short. Got it right back, though, and scored.
I don't know how that ball ended up right back in his hands, but he went right back up with it. Now he's bumping Kelman on the way down the floor. Probably the last guy you want to try to bump out of the way on the way down the floor. But nice job by Allette to stay with it there and make the finish here. Keep the Frogs up by 14.
So Sean's got 14 to lead the Frogs. Reddick with it. Nice overplay by Ernest to knock that one away.
Yeah, Frogs have definitely picked up the defensive pressure here.
Here's another look at that one as Allette misses. Uday kept it alive.
Hey, hang around the basket, you'll get easy baskets sometimes.
Penetration here, running one-hander off the mark. Ernest with another board. Ernest Uday is so much better this year, Colin.
He is aggressively going to the basket for rebounds. That was great. A great find there from Reynolds to a cutting Robinson for an easy layup.
67-51. Horned Frogs up by 16 now with 1:14 left.
Well, you got to like the way the Frogs have really closed out this game here.
Push here to Allette.
1 minute, under 1 minute remaining.
Chambers going to clear his bench out a little bit here. It looks like if they get another stop, or a stop and play, I should say, as the Frogs find Robinson for 3 that doesn't go. Uday saves it. TCU keeps.
I mean, he's just getting his paws on everything on the. It comes off the glass right now.
10 on the shot clock. Allette with it. Alley-oop slapped away here by Kelman, and it'll stay with TCU with 24.3 to go and 1.5 left on the shot clock. Substitutions now into the lineup for the first time. Will come B.B. Washington, a freshman out of Houston. So they got the Texan into the game, did Florida Gulf Coast. It's Kelman and Duax check out. Tristan Goulouette is in as well. He's another freshman.
Let's hope the Frogs take a peek at the shot clock this time. 1.5 seconds here on the shot clock.
Inbounds Reynolds, catch, shoot, Allette from the corner, and out. Had a good look at it. 20 seconds left. Shot clock's off. Frogs are going to go to 2-0 on the season, by the way. Tapped away here by Wenzel. Stays with the Eagles. 13.9 to go.
There's actually a lot riding on that shot coming from Allette for some folks that are tuning into the broadcast, I'm sure.
Yep. Tapped around. Rebound Wenzel, that should do it. Well, for the Frogs, it was one of these nights against the Eagles here as they